the opposition, who would garner 31%. However, still 1/3 of the electorate remains undecided. Cliff, you are projecting 12 weeks out from an election. So 3 months out, we still have 1/3 of the electorate undecided. Now, I want us to understand that this is the lowest that the undecided proportion has been for quite some time, right? And so if we are to look at this question over time, we see some fluctuations happening as far back as September 2020, right? So that was right before the last election. We had a 49-32 split. We know what the result of that election turned out to be. Things have shifted, and now we are back to 35 for the JLP and 31 for the PNP. The PNP has slowly picked up momentum, and we need to not ignore that. Let's look at the numbers through time. September 2021, 22%. A year later, 18%. By February 2023, 21%. September 2023, 25%. February 2024, 28%. Again, same proportion in September 2024 and February 2025 at 28%. And now inching up again, 31%. It suggests a slow and steady, slow burn type of ground swelling type of approach. Every time we do the poll, they pick up a little bit more, and they pick up a little bit more. And
a couple of weeks out of a general election, where does the election stands today? How are the parties feeling about the polls? And if you know anything about political parties, you would appreciate that polls play an important role in political strategies. In Jamaica, we don't do polling often enough to get what is called a longitudinal data. Now, the longitudinal data in poll is where you have to do a number of polls over a number of months to pick up what is called the trend. So polls are done too infrequently in Jamaica for you to pick up the trend. And so polls in Jamaica are basically snapshots. Polls in places like the United States are not snapshots, because one of the things that happens in the United States, for example, and I'm citing the United States because, you know, that's kind of where we get a lot of our examples, is that they are constantly doing polls. It is expensive to do polls, but if you don't have comparisons to make, in Jamaica, for example, we only have the Blue Dot and the Don Anderson polls to compare. And you know how political these polls have become. The PNP, for example, they dismiss the Blue Dot polls as the Green Dot poll. The governing Jamaica Labour Party, well, their supporters really have nothing to do with the Don Anderson polls. But privately, the parties both observe very carefully the polls to see what they are saying. I want you to understand that because of the infrequency of the polling in Jamaica, they are unreliable in terms of establishing voter intentions. Yes, the polls that are done in Jamaica are done to. So, for example, the last time we had a poll was February, and now we are having one in May. Yes, so they basically give you what is happening at the time the poll was taken. Now, if we are to establish the true veracity of the poll, you would need to get back out into the field next week, not next month, because people's views, people's perception changes. I give you an example. What is the impact of the urban center on voter intentions in Jamaica? Has that been polled? No, has not been polled. And so the polls that you see coming out in Jamaica are to be treated really as momentary. In other words, this is what people were thinking at the time the pollsters went out into the streets, right? And I believe that the people reporting the polls ought to say when the poll was taken, and they should keep repeating that, because these were the results at this time. These were the results at this time. Now, many people went to their beds last night, and people are still making up their minds in terms of who it is that they intend to vote for. These change daily. Now, if you have the forecast that we have been doing, you would recognize that Jamaica is pretty polarized when it comes onto politics. And it really, the politics that we have before us in Jamaica comes down to what is called the diehards. Yes, and both parties have within their base a certain number of people that will vote for them regardless of what is happening. Now, many laborites are disturbed because they do not understand the politics sufficiently. And we have been trying to broaden their understanding. But, they cuss us out because they want us to come here and become a 30-second promotion for the Labour Party. Yes, and we are refusing to do that. What we want to do is to give people, to help people to appreciate the politics more. And so in that context, I'll get back to the polls. In that context, when you see a party in Jamaica 4 points ahead, that party can win 50 seats. A party 4 points ahead in any poll. I hear Mr. Hughes last night suggesting that the 4-point lead for the Labour Party means that the Labour Party is winning 34 seats. That is not correct, Mr. Hughes. That may be statistically correct, but that's not the entire truth. Because all you need is a 1-point margin across several seats, and one party wins a landslide. Because the voting in Jamaica is not very large. You have less than 1 million people heading to the polls in a few weeks' time. And so when you speak to Jamaicans, Sir Cliff, well, let me not let me not get there. All right. The thing is that the voters in Jamaica are almost evenly divided. And so even if the government paves the road with gold, it's not going to get the PNP votes, right? Just like if the PNP was in government and they paved the road with gold, labor rights are not voting for them. It is just how we practice the politics. And if we argue for more informed citizens, we mustn't only argue for more informed comrades. We must also argue for more informed labor rights. And so I asked the labor rights this morning, if the shoes were on the other foot, how would you vote? If it was the PNP in power and doing all of these wonderful things that your government is doing, would you vote for them? The answer is no. Why not? Because you want your party to be in power. You want your party to be in power. So don't tell PNP people that they must eat them blind. Don't tell them that. And it doesn't happen only in Jamaica. You think Republicans vote for Democrats? Huh? Look at places like Texas, Ohio, Florida. Those are red states. And so there are red states, there are blue. You think California vote for Republicans? They don't. Washington. You ever hear that the Republicans are winning Washington? You guys need to lift the political argument, man. And uno talk about bias. I uno bias. Scroll on if you want. Because if you can't handle the truth, then you're at the wrong space. You understand what I'm saying to you? There are 400 at least people in Jamaica that will never vote Labour. And they are comrades. And you can't kill them for that. They are comrades. You know, some of you, if you cut you this morning, your blood is not going to be red, you know. It's either going to be orange or green. Because you die hard. And you talk about die hard. You know, there was one time, I think it was one man in the Labour Party said, if them put up a dog, you have to vote for it. Vote for their party. There's a loyalty to the cause of their party. And it's philosophical. It's ideological. It is what the party believes in. And so, Mr. Hugh Blair, yes, is a PNP. Why you want to convert Mr. Hugh Blair? Trying to convert Mr. Hugh Blair from the PNP is like trying to turn a boy into a girl. It can't happen. I saw him born. My born PNP. My leader born here. You know, and then that's how it is. Where you have to appeal, where the elections are won, is to appeal to those persons who are neither PNP nor JLP. The people that are called the undecided. It is the undecided voters that wins you the election. If the diehards go out to vote, it can go either way. Because now it comes down to a combat, a hand-to-hand combat battle on the ground. And this is where now money becomes an influence in the politics. Because when it comes down to the diehards, then it's who have the most money to buy the votes. And when you also recognize that some of the people are transactional, that they are going to go to the polls based on who it is that can pay them the best price. Yes? And so you have to understand Jamaica's political reality. The reality that we have in Jamaica is that both parties are almost equally divided when it comes on to base support. The PNP can fill the arena any day. The Labour Party can fill the arena any day. Yes? The PNP can maybe pack the National Stadium with its 400,000 voters. The Labour Party can do the same. It is a two-party democracy. And this is why third parties in Jamaica do not survive. They just don't have the time, the resources to build up the support, to match the Labour Party or the People's National Party. If, for example, the National Democratic Movement was still around and they had the resources, they probably at this time may have 5 or 3 seats in parliament. Look at England, for example, and there are other democracies like South Africa. They have smaller parties, and these smaller parties may win 1 or 2 seats, 3 or 4, but they are dominant parties. The Labour Party in England and the Conservative, they are the dominant parties. But we see now Nigel Farage, yes, with his party making inroads, and they start making inroads at the local level. It don't happen overnight. And so when the Labourites feel that, boy, you know, the government has performed so well and the government must be 12 points ahead and comrades must come vote for the Labour, you are in a dream. You do not understand politics. Yes, you think Mark Golden is going to switch because the economy is right? You think Damian Crawford is likely to join you? Huh? You think Fitz Jackson is going to turn Labour right? Rubbish. You're not understanding what is happening. It happens very, very infrequent. See Carl Samuda one time jump over to the PNP. He have to come back a Labour Party because what? Him a Labour right. You're either a Labour right or you're PNP. And then you have to look at how did people get into the party. Some people got into the party through their families. Your daddy a Labour right. You grew up in a Labour right home. You hear them talking about Bustamante, talking about Hugh Shearer, talking about Donald Sangster, talking about Eddie Siaga and Bruce Golding. You are naturally going to become a Labour right. So some people it's through ideology. Some people it's through their relatives. And it is like that. Okay? So you begin by understanding that the parties are divided at their base, and they both have in Jamaica significant base support to win them an election. If the parties go into the elections only with the base, it can go either way, and it has always been like this. It has always been like this. All right? The PNP won 4 consecutive elections. That's a process that needs to be examined, because people will tell you that those elections were not really won fairly. And this is the truth. And so not because you see the Labour Party with 49 seats means that they got 1 million votes. They did not. Look at the vote differences. And the PNP will tell you that 120,000 of their supporters did not vote. Don't dismiss that. It is true. And so what has happened is that the PNP has regained its base support. The PNP's strength is not a strength in the political movement in Jamaica necessarily. It is that the PNP's support has returned. Golding, Mark, and Dayton Campbell should be commended for bringing the PNP back together, where it is now back at its base strength. Now, what this does for the Labour Party is it challenges the Labour Party to demonstrate its own base support. I don't know if you recall a couple conferences ago when the PNP filled, jam-packed the national arena. And everybody said, wow, can the Labour Party do that? What did the Labour Party do? They went out into the field and they packed it just like that. So parties are able to show their strength. Did you see Kamala Harris's filling arenas all across Jamaica? The Republicans can do that. The Democrats can do that. Parties have base support. Do you understand that first point that I took 10 minutes to make? Parties have base support. Now, let's look at where the election is based on the Blue Dot polls. Now, let's take the polls for what they are. Let's not criticize the polls. Let us learn from the figures that the polls have put out. Okay? Let us do that. Give us is that the parties have almost equal basis. Okay? So they are starting the election with, let me just pick a figure of say 400,000 each, 10,000 here or thereabout. That is how the politics is in Jamaica. Accept that. And the politics is like that because of the very behavior of some of you on this line. You have by your behavior isolated a lot of people. Because a lot of people in Jamaica don't want to be associated with the type of politics that we practice. Like last night, when Comrade Adrian Samuda was on the line, you all wanted to run him off. How are you going to broaden your base if you treat comrades like that? How? You want people to vote for you, but you don't want to treat them with respect. And it is the same thing on the PNP side. It is the same thing on the PNP side. If you go on a PNP live, you're not likely to be treated with respect, with decorum, and with decency. Them send you up under your mother, them tell you say you're a fish, and you must come off of them live. So many people in the middle say, all right, uno tan where uno de, tan de. We don't have nothing to do with uno. We will stay where the truck at 10 o'clock. Are they on? Yes. No, I haven't seen him. All right. So before we take up Chuck and Foresight and Philippians, the second point, therefore, is if you understand the first point, then you are going to appreciate the second point. If the party is 4 points ahead in a deeply divided political country, it means that the party is winning the election convincingly. Oh yes, I'm your friend Noe, because I said that. Well, it is the truth. Remember now, if the bases of the party are equal, and one party has a 4% lead, then the party with the lead is likely to win the election. The only way that does not translate into a win is if the opposing party make significant inroads into the uncommitted. And both parties are going to be targeting that group. Now, here is where the messaging and the performance of the government becomes critical, Mr. Samuda. The people who are neither PNP or JLP, how do they see the performance of the government? And is that performance of the magnitude, is it impressive enough to drive them to the polls? Are they likely to get off their couches, yes, and go out, stand up in the hot sun and vote? And I can tell you, it is iffy. Because when people are comfortable, they turn at their yard. When they are uncomfortable, you see the people overseas that are planning to come to Jamaica. If the polls showed that the Labour Party was 10 points ahead, not one of them get on any plane, come down here. But the fact that the polls are now showing a close election, what it is going to do, it is going to ignite a passion among Labourites that the election is close. We have to get out there and vote. I have to take up Chuck. So if I'm going to continue this, I'll continue it with him. Let's accept him. We invited him here, so let us be respectful. We are 5 minutes over the time. He's not loaded yet. Yes, you see what I'm saying? And so that is what is at play right here, right now. That is what is at play. No, so it has nothing to do with Andrew Holness putting on no clerks. When Holness put on him clerks, that will ignite labor rights. It will not ignite the PNP. And it will not ignite the uncommitted. The uncommitted don't care whether Holness put on clerks, booger, gate, nothing. They don't business with that. Okay? Quite frankly, many of them are comfortable, they are okay, and they are moving on with their lives. They don't care about no clerks. As a matter of fact, one of the error that the PNP themselves have made is that with all of the things that they have come with in recent times, giving the government 72 hours to withdraw Dennis Strong. By the way, do you realize that the private sector organization of Jamaica, they have thrown their full support behind Mr. Strong? Now, if the PNP no see that it's a losing battle, you think it's only politics run the country? If business is not on your side, you have nowhere going, you know. The private sector organization of Jamaica, they are saying we support this man. We support his appointment. So what is the PNP coming with? A distraction or something? It don't make no sense. Huh? What is that? Well, yeah, anyway, Jamaica girl, I don't know. Yes. Jamaica girl, I see Chuck has left. So you will have to bring him back up for me. All right. So let me see. Let me see where we're going to go. No, I did not hear Cliff you saying yes. I heard that the PNP is going to be winning 30 seats, and I just explained to you why I don't think that is so. Why I don't think that is correct. All right. PNP is joining.
Yeah, man. Neighbor.
Good morning,
neighbor,
sir.
Morning, neighbor. I tell you, say, yeah, see my words, and anybody will know me can say. You see, PNP and JLP support upon platform. First thing to come in, every PNP want labor.
Let me tell you something. So I am expecting a guest that I have scheduled.
Yeah, man, that's
so if they come up,
that's 2 minutes for me. That's a 2 minutes. Come on, congratulate what you say. And me I get the beat by upon my comrades them. Yeah, and me there I read no for them in platform. It's when they talk, no comrade agree with you. When you say, but any say something when agree, they don't agree there. Them, we are you see, we on both political party and we are running the independent for come vote for we. Because we want PNP to vote Labour and Labour to vote PNP. I am not into this to get a diatic person for switch, because nobody can get me vote Labour. As me tell them already. And I'm sure that you will never get a Labour right. Well, a diatic Labour right. Vote exactly
for PNP.
Switch. That's what I'm saying. That's what I tell Chuck.
When you give me a house and buy my robots, now vote for you.
I tell Chuck and Chuck have a cost me every morning. Say me tell Chuck say Andrew Holness get Jamaica with goal. Hugh Anthony Richards, a member of the People's National Party, will never vote JLP. I will stay home and abstain from voting more than vote JLP. But Chuck run up on them every day and say, you Richards, as a comrade say, and me know Chuck gonna vote PNP. And then no circle Chuck I vote PNP. So we need to get to the point when we as comrade and labor know say we depend this platform for woo the uncommitted, not the PNP and the JLP. So we need to behave in accordance.
There are very few persons, sir, who are registered members of the Jamaica Labour Party, grow up in a JLP family. All when the party are lose, they now vote against their party. They see it as a betrayal. They see it as a betrayal.
Same thing like the PNP.
Are they would stay at them yard? Are they not voting for the Labour Party? So when you talk about government perform well and PNP,
That's what government is elected to do. What they must celebrate. What we must say now is how it benefit the masses. So I'm saying to them, I'm gonna say, you must say something again. Me tell my PNP friend them. When Chuck and call me Labour every day, I'm laugh. When a PNP call me Labour, they want me laugh. Or a PNP they call me Labour, and me feel good about it. Tell the truth, neighbor.
But you know, sir, in every country where there are democracies, the parties have their supporters, you know.
Of course.
You think so you're gonna get. Let me tell you something. Since we have started voted in Jamaica, we may have landslide in terms of seat counts. but not in terms of the popular vote, you know.
No. Because
the elections have always
even
been
the last
close.
election we go over there, the 37% were the JLP. The JLP not get much vote over the PNP already win 14 seats, you know. And what me tell my JLP friend them nowadays say, listen, when I celebrate, most of who beat the PNP and them strong PNP seat. They are beating the PNP with numbers that the year before the PNP beat their candidate. The candidate that the PNP beat get more vote than what they beat the PNP with this time. This is what they are not thinking. But I'm saying to them, I mean, I said, the company problem all PNP for here. Anyone I'm a Labour friend them, because I have every Labour a friend. Chuck, all of them a friend. Can call me Labour right. But me not appreciate no PNP call me Labour right. And them trying to understand that. But they will make it upset them vex. But me rather a Labour call me Labour than a PNP call me Labour. When a PNP call me a come Labour, what you want me to you want me laugh? Talk to neighbor, talk to
because you're a comrade, son.
I am a member of the PNP, a supporter and a die-hearted supporter. And then Chuck and
did you know, sir, that it is no different in religion?
Exactly.
Did you know that an Adventist, you can't you very few Adventists can be converted to become
exactly.
a Baptist, you know?
Exactly. But the point we are trying to
I want you to know that there are some people baptized in Jesus' name that feels that everybody else are go to hell.
Exactly. Adventist feels every Sunday people are going to hell.
So politics has a little bit of similarity to religion in terms of people's belief.
But neighbor, you know, me come for your platform to say, I can't say it on PNP platform because they don't want me to say it because they want to say, no, say it because it costs war. Me want give me a couple seconds to say it. Me, Hugh Richards, I rather my friend Rick Chigga call me Labour right. I rather Chuck call me Labour right. Vegas call me Labour right. I'm Andrews call me Labour right. More any PNP call me Labour right.
You mean your PNP friends are calling you Labour right?
Yes,
why?
If you say whether you not agree with some of the garbage of the matter.
Well, you know, sir, they one man on here tell me last night that my PNP draws a show.
Exactly, that's what they state. Done some food. If they want to them bex. They are done some food on both sides.
Yes, because
I was sense.
Once you say something that is not aligned to the
now Richie have a relationship. We talk to 1.5 years. Richie can't come yesterday and call me Labour time you laugh. But if PNP them know to Richie call me Labour time laugh. Them say, oh, Labour to call Labour you laugh. And when them call me Labour right, me cuss. Them they never realize the fact say, oh, a PNP call a die-hearted comrade Labour right. Now disrespect that.
Hugh, when them call you a Labour, good morning first of all. Hugh, when them call you a Labour right, you know, is when something is factual. And then
exactly.
You say no, I know, so it go, you know, make no sense you beat the facts. Say what is what, and then if you want to criticize a government policy, criticize it, but you can't beat facts.
Exactly.
So as a result of that, them call him Labour right. Even a pastor me here call him Labour right one day, you know.
Thank you.
I was shocked.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a neighbor, me tell them say any Labour, if a Labour call me Labour, me laugh. But when a PNP call me Labour, it cut me to the core. Another thing it cut me to the core. When a PNP call me Labour. You better tell him say no, you better not call me a batty man, more call me a Labour right. No, but me tell him that as a PNP, seriously. Rick Chigga, I am not a batty man. But
me know, but me I say, but yeah, say yourself,
oh, serious, maybe Rick Chigga. Rick Chigga, I serious. I rather a comrade call me a batty man, more call me a Labour right. A comrade, I say, no. That's what I'm saying. When a comrade I come call upon platform, we whole world a year. You reach out a Labour right. Oh, you want me to as a comrade?
Yes.
You get me? I say, comrade, I'll tell me say talk with Labour tell me plan. Say since me come on TikTok.
Well, you know, so they say that Mr. Golden buy me out. One man tell me last night how PNP you give me money.
Yeah, they're stupid. They're stupid. I'm tell them say neighbor target to even this my way I say. Me enough people agree with what you say now. But it's when you come to the point and start beat Labour right now, them same one we are commenting in a group, in a comment that say agree with you, and them more cause say Labour right. Me don't know why people say so stupid.
And the thing about it, you know, people don't like criticism. And when you get constructive criticism, you must learn from, you know. It's not a keep hearing wherein you tell a man say, tell a man SYM, you tell a man something to be better when you criticize him. So they run anyway.
Rick, you hear on platform. You ever hear when me then a Labour platform? Only time me cuss and when a Labour disrespect me in person.
Right. That's true.
Can't get me for a cuss. I tell them now, me glad they on the platform. Them they are listen now. Labour right treat Hugh Richards with more respect than PNP on Labour platform on TikTok.
My name kill you.
Oh my God. Me look at somebody here. JLP supporters treat Comrade Hugh Anthony Richards with more respect than my PMP then.
Oh my. Let him talk.
Me say without apology.
Let him talk.
Every platform.
Brother, you are always give him a drink. What you drink, Mr. Richards?
Neighbor. Yeah, you Richard. Neighbor, every Labour can tell you that. And yes. Labour should put in them box. I mean them talk. They know say when me chip. If them make chip, me have a chip. You get me? But them know they have a conversation. Me say me not basically when me upon PNP platform, them disrespect me. Because when you call a comrade Labour to disrespect me, you cannot call a comrade Labour. I mean, why me come on the platform and say it? Because I can't vent on a PNP platform. Because they must say, you Richard, stop now. Because you don't bring me a talk on a Labour platform. JLP supporters on TikTok treat me more respect. The only time I get disrespect from platform is PNP disrespect me. Labour, only thing a Labour said to me say, you go to school at grade 9 and they want to embarrass themselves. Because as a grade 9 graduate, enough Labour can't debate me on TikTok. So them want to call me say me a grade 9 graduate, you embarrass yourself. But when a PNP you call me Labour, they disrespect me. Hence, that's why I not choose to go on my PNP platform, more than go on any Labour platform. Because a Labour treat me more respect. I'm not busy nobody wants to say me a PNP, but we say my respect and my dignity count more than anything else. My respect and my dignity count more than me being a comrade. I say that without apology. I said this without an apology. My respect and my integrity value more than me being a comrade. So I'm not busy when they want to tell me say. You get me I say? I'm say this without an apology. I'm telling them every day say. Let me tell you what PNP and the Labour them do. It's when a Labour in a PNP box and them have 7 PNP and 1 Labour, right? They might try winning argument to the people they can't change. They now focus on the 100 or 200 odd people where they are listening. They might
yes, you're so right about that, sir. And I made the point to someone this morning that what we want to do is to embarrass the comrade, or
exactly.
just
embarrass the Labour. Yes. Embarrass the Labour. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and them now reconnect his ceiling point. Say, listen, me we argue that if the uncommitted can come home, come vote. That we need to do. We want to talk about say, me want when Richie and Neighbor and Foresight because PNP better than Ray. We now all. Let me tell you my statement. They not like me again, so PNP not like me. You say, me see the numbers there in front of my face. I will agree to disagree. Me and say yes. Make we move on. My PNP they don't like when I say that. They want me did a cuss say Labour beat a rate. I try prove something we can't prove. And spend the whole day at garbage. And me say this every PNP and every Labour to hear this a come advice. So you need to change on TikTok. If you don't want to get people to come off my fence and come vote for a party. You don't stop going like an idiot. PNP build Jamaica, Labour build Jamaica. I would say my party more for Jamaica than any other party, and you will say different. That not make sense. People know the fact. When a Labour come on platform now, go tell me you just say 18 year PNP match up Jamaica. Them gonna make themselves look like an idiot. And when a PNP say Andrew was not 99 years, we all make themselves look like an idiot. We can't debate for the mistake when they make. That me I tell them. They don't want to hear me say they want me cuss Andrew every day. And check me up on the mistake where people make, even if they make mistake. Me not stay so. Jamaica first, me. I'm a comrade. I'm a Jamaica first and a
choose Jamaica. Choose Jamaica. Choose Jamaica.
I know. Listen me. Listen me. Me not choose Jamaica. Me not choose the JLP. I will choose it.
Not I will not choose Jamaica.
Yes, I am going to choose Jamaica, but I'm not going to choose the JLP.
But you, Richards, I vote for the JLP. I vote for Jamaica. You know.
And I vote for the PNP, also I vote for Jamaica. Because both political parties are going to govern Jamaica and they will govern Jamaica for Jamaica. So we want to stop that garbage. We want to stop it. The slogan doesn't make no sense. I will choose Jamaica, however, but I will not choose Andrew Holness the JLP.
Equally, we can't say time come, no make no sense.
Can't say time come. Can't say time come to content. So I'm just saying. So don't fight